The most important thing that you can do when you're interacting with a large language model or a tool like Code Interpreter is to use it in the right way. If you're not approaching the right types of problems, if you're not thinking about things in a framework that helps you to create solutions that are really going to be effective and work, then you're really not going to use the tools effectively. So I want to start by talking about how should we be using AI? What are the types of problems we should be applying it to? And how do we sort of assess if we've got the right type of problem in our hands? Should I really pursue this path? Well, I want to give you a framework to reason about this. So I'm going to start off by going through an example that's also based on my belief in the framework. Now, other people may tell you different things, but this is my belief in where we should be headed with AI and how we should be using it and employing it in human systems. So I've asked it to go and help me create an acronym for my framework. My framework is the focus should be on 5 key things. If we've got a problem that is related to these 5 things, then it's probably a good problem to start investigating further to see if it's a good fit. Number 1, we want to look at ways of using AI to aid in human coordination. 2, we want to reduce tedium to provide more time for creative thought and problem solving. So, all of these tasks that you do every day that are better done in some other way so that we can take people and we can give them more time to be creative, to think, and to do the important things. Because the value in the human is not just tedious repetition of tasks. That's the way we use a lot of people today, but it's not the best way to make people, 1, happy, fulfilled in their jobs, and 2, if you've got somebody who can do interesting creative things, then we should try to focus them on that. Or if we can have them use their higher reasoning in more valuable ways, let's do that. Let's not overload them with tasks that aren't helpful. Now, it doesn't mean we don't do any of that. We're always going to have some of that more than likely, but let's help it. 3, we need to help spur better problem solving and creativity with humans. And we can do this in lots of different ways. And I'm going to talk about each of these different points in a minute. But I'll specifically hone in on this one because I think there's a ton of value here. People are biased in all kinds of ways. People talk about AI bias all the time, but humans are incredibly biased, and we're biased in a lot of different ways. And one way we're biased is in seeing how to solve problems, seeing different points of view on issues, all kinds of things, and there's huge potential for using these tools to help try to overcome human bias. 4, we want to provide a safety net. Humans are making decisions, they're doing all kinds of tasks all the time, and there's lots of human tasks where we just don't have good safety nets in place, and AI can play a huge role in helping those, particularly large language models. And then 5, we want to allow great human ideas to scale faster. We want to help enable humans, when they come up with some phenomenal idea, to take it out to the world and apply it faster and better. And so we're going to be looking at these. Now, I've asked, ChatGPT to help me out. Now, I'm not using Code Interpreter, but I'm going to get started here just within ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you kind of what I mean by some of these things. And then I'm going to go through each of these aspects of this acronym and this framework. I'm going to show you in separate videos. I'm going to go through the first one in a minute, but first I'm going to tell you, here's my acronym. Now, what I did is I took all these statements and I asked ChatGPT, rewrite these statements as needed to turn them into an awesome, positive, memorable acronym. So it's helping support my creativity. I could have spent a lot of time and effort doing this, but I thought, hey, maybe it can help me come up with great ideas for how to turn these statements into an acronym that would help other humans remember. This is all about helping me, get this message out, help me craft it, scale it, get it out to people and help them remember it. And so what I want is I want it to slightly rewrite these sentences so that the first word in each sentence becomes part of the acronym. So it's this sort of helpful mnemonic that we can use to remember this framework. Okay, so here's what it's done for me. And I actually ended up taking its first suggestion because I really liked it. I think it's moving in the right direction. So it created the acronym ACHIEVE for me, and this is the framework we're going to use. ACHIEVE. This is what we want to do with large language models if we want to help human beings achieve their goals, achieve whatever creative, inspirational thing that they want to pursue. So how do we do that? How do we achieve with large language models? First, we want to aid human coordination with them. 2, we want to cultivate creativity and problem solving. 3, we want to help spur better problem solving and creativity. 4, we want to initiate a safety net. And 5, enable great ideas to scale faster. You know what? It's pretty good, and it kind of got what I wanted, but not exactly, right? And some people come back and they're always freaked out, right? Like AI is doing everything, right? It's creating your acronym for you. What room is there for human creativity in this space? And this right here shows you that it's all about a conversation. There's lots of room for human creativity in this. There's lots of room for human reasoning. Because I look at this and I'm like, it's okay, it's pretty good. It got me a lot of the way there, but it's not there yet. So I then follow up and I say, can you make the help be help provide a safety net? Because I think that better aligns with the help. Safety net, help, that makes more sense to me. And then turn the I into something related to spur better problem solving and creativity, because the I was really originally related to, the inspire. So it comes back and it says achieve, and now it says aid human coordination, cultivate creativity and problem solving, help provide a safety net, inspire better problem solving and creativity, and enable great ideas to scale faster. Now this is helping me, think through and create and craft this message. And I'm doing it faster than if I was having to iterate by typing or writing it by pen and paper or some other method. This is faster for me on iterating with my creativity. So I'm kind of going through this process. I'm actually kind of demonstrating and working through almost all of these ideas are being based on this. Now I look at this and I say it's still not quite right. Number 2 here is not quite, cultivate creativity and problem solving is not quite what I had in my original one, which was reduce tedium to provide more time for creative thought and problem solving. It's not really the same thing that it's saying here. Cultivate creative problem solving is not the same thing as reducing tedium so you have more time to think about things. So I go back and I follow up and say 2 needs to focus more on using automation to reduce the time that humans have to spend on tedious tasks rather than thinking, and then we get an updated version. So our achieve acronym is now aid human coordination, cut tedious tasks through automation, freeing time for creative thought and problem solving, help provide a safety net, inspire better problem solving and creativity, and enable great ideas to scale faster. So these are the 5 things that I think are really the key areas we should be focused on when we're working with large language models. If we can help humans coordinate better, I mean, goodness knows we make mistakes all the time in communicating with each other, especially when we have teams and multiple teams working on the same project. There's so much human language that gets produced, so much miscommunication. There's so much space to help improve that overall process, not to replace, but to improve it, to help humans do a better job. We want to cut tedious tasks through automation, allow more time for creative thought and problem solving, also allow people to do more fulfilling work, thinking and other things. Now, some of this may make sense. Maybe there's tedious tasks and problems that are always going to be there and that people find joy from, and that's great, and we can leave those. But there's lots of people that aren't being used to their most effective, their greatest potential. And if we can help use them and help them do a role that is more suited to all of their potential and thought and ideas, let's do it. 3, let's help provide a safety net. Humans make mistakes all the time. And it is hard when you make a mistake and it goes and has an impact on the world that has consequences. So let's help catch those mistakes. Let's make it so people feel the freedom to go and be creative and to try things out and to innovate and to work without as much fear that they're going to make a mistake and cause some problem. And then 4, and see right there I made a mistake, right? If it had helped catch me, but luckily I caught myself. We want to inspire better problem solving and creativity. And people talk about AI bias. Humans have bias. We have bias in problem solving. We have bias in different perspectives. We have bias in our beliefs about other people. We have bias and lack of information on all kinds of topics. Let's try to help use large language models to address those issues. And then 5, let's enable great ideas to scale faster. Let's use automation, all kinds of things to help people build and create systems, real world tangible outputs, be it creating some piece of software, be it better organizing my files on my computer by creating a phenomenal presentation to help communicate with other human beings. Let's help them do all of this and scale it up faster. Now I'm going to go through each of these in a separate video. Originally I said I was going to go through one of them in this video, but I think I've run out of time, and actually that's probably a mistake that I made. And if I'd really had AI in it, probably would have told me and provided my safety net and said, hey, you're running out of time, you're not going to make it in one video. So I'm going to come back with another video, and I'm going to go through each of one of these, because I think if you start looking at it, you'll understand how to apply it using this framework to really help humans. And this framework also is a great framework for helping to figure out what types of tasks should I be looking at. And also thinking about, what is it that I really want to focus on in my organization? Where am I going to find the efficiencies? And I think this framework will help us get there.